Hello from sunny Saskatchewan. Day 21. Did I say sunny, melting, dripping, squishy Saskatchewan? Day 21. Today we are going to do a little bit of yoga and we are going to look at identity. The temperature right now is about 5 degrees Celsius, which is about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So, without further ado, let's dive right in. Identity. That personal pronoun I am, I is a single letter in the alphabet. When we use it, it can mean the entirety of who and what we believe we are. Taking a close look at what that even means, if I look at my gender, my ethnic background, my politics, my education, my beliefs, and so on and so on and so on. If I take a close look at who I think I am and why, it becomes clear that I have an identity. I had a conversation a few years ago. I was introduced to the idea that we all start off as like an empty room in life. And then as time goes by, we begin to create our identity and we start to decorate that room. And if we decorate that room and we never take anything back out of it, then that becomes a fairly crystallized identity. So if I take a look at who I am, who I believe I am, who my family is, who my friends are, what type of products I use, what type of vehicle I drive, stems back to identity. So if I sit down and I spend a little time writing down my identity, and in many ways our life story is our identity, we identify with that. If I sit down and I write down my identity, if our identity is a blanket, if I flip the blanket back and I just then look at me without my identity, that might be seen as my true self, and the rest is an embellishment. In raising children, I have noticed that each one is absolutely unique, and they're born that way. Sometimes they are born with certain traits, and sometimes not traits, but they pick up some characteristics or ideas that they then latch onto and make that a part of who they are. But ultimately, they started out with some of their foibles, and they were born with them. And that brings into question the idea of nature, their true self, or nurture, the things that they were taught and trained into. Nurture can be sometimes a bit of a questionable word for that, but the way that we were raised versus our nature from the time we were born. So in the context of small beginnings and the idea of mind, body, and soul, or mind, body, and spirit, one might take a look at flipping the blanket back, going back to the empty room for a visit, taking a look at the person that was there before all of the nurture began to happen, the essential person, and taking a close look at where the things I identify with put me at odds with people who identify differently, where my identity helps me and hinders me. So anyway, those are some ideas, those are some thoughts. And in the search for Kaizen, continuous improvement, I want to take a close look at things. And so I hope you've enjoyed this discussion on identity. And thank you for coming out today. And I hope you come back again tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.